Welcome to the final video. Actually, this is just gonna be a short, um, I guess a credits video. I figured I'd have to show off where we ended up with the team in the end after 30 games. And I also wanted to thank some people. But before we do that, I do want to show off my Blood Bowl settings if you want to make your own video Blood Bowl LP. I've been mucking about with this for way too long. This is pretty much what it looks like. This right here doesn't matter so much. Resolution 720p. I find it important. Having 1080p is pretty much It's not useless. It's just that it's not really worth the extra computing power you need to export videos and stuff like that. And the resulting files when you're frapsing would actually be massive. So I haven't. Well, 720p works for me. Should work for you, maybe. Voices volume, turn that all the way down, otherwise you get annoying commentary, no one wants that, and then the rest doesn't really matter. Depends on what you want to do. I don't like having too loud music, because whoever's talking over it still needs to be able to talk over it, and FX is kind of nice. You do want that when you kill someone, if you possibly can. This one's a bit important. It means that the background of the log window in the lower left is actually black, which is really useful in some stadiums like the Norse one, which is on a snowy field, and since the text is white, well, you can't really see anything. Cinematics, that's just useless, and so is full screen. Instant replay is nice, since we're trying to be, visual. And that's that. Let's go have a look at the changers of place. Don't steal my passwords. It's asterisk, 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 asterisk. There's 30 games. We got a total of 13 players, which I think is... I like to be around 13 players on a proper team. Too many, of course, that depends on your race, but 13 is good for me. I'm always being pessimistic about how many people get killed or get knocked out. It might be because I usually play elves or Norse, and they tend to get knocked out all the time. Unfortunately, you can't really afford to have that many elves, but there you go. Let's look over our team. Kosilek. I can't be asked to read all of this, but let's see. He's he's made 1 touchdown and 15 casualties. That's actually kind of nice. He's only killed 1 guy. These are season stats. I don't think the career stats are any different. So these are the stats since we went to Legendary Edition, since half the LP was in the first edition. He's the only guy that's managed to kill anyone, which is a bit of a shame, but that's probably because he's the only guy that's managed to actually kill. We've had a few kills, but they've usually been apothecaried or regened. But apparently Kosilek has at some point killed a dude, so that's nice. Let's see who's run the furthest. Set Carve, which is actually kind of surprising. This is, of course, with the ball, I would reckon. And he's actually in the lead of Mr. Hadwick, which in a way makes sense. But there you go. The Set has to run all the way down and then pick it up and throw it there, so there you go. Do we have any other fun stats to talk about? Let's see. Block sustained. Okay. Ragnar has apparently been hurt way more than anyone else. And who's made all the touchdowns? It's Mr. Hadwick and Mikey, of course. And MVPs. James Dio. Damn, Kosilek is way better than anyone else at casualties as well. 15 compared to second place, 7. Let's not look at this anymore. Let's go over the guys. First are Chaos Warriors. Kosilek, he's got block, mighty blow, dodge, and tackle. That's a pretty decent line right there. Some people have asked me in the thread and otherwise what my ultimate build would be for someone like Kosilek or any other Chaos Warrior. And it's kind of difficult to tell because it all depends on what you get first. I mean, Costa like kind of gets off track after block Mighty Ball. He rolls a double so he can take dodge, which is smart. I like dodge on a strong agility 3 players because that means he's going to be pretty good at blitzing. On the other hand, we've got a bunch of beastmen that already have strength for when they blitz, so it's not as useful. He's got armor value. He's got a loss of armor value. I might have kicked him earlier for that, but I can't really remember when he got it. Mr. the Fister. It's really boring. He's only got block and frenzy. Broken neck. Don't really care about that, to be honest. Would have cared more had he gotten it earlier, maybe. That's also one of those things. Like Warrior of Nutrition is probably going to get block or something. Had I actually only been playing not for the LP, I probably would have made sure that these Chaos Warriors leveled up quicker and a bit more evenly. But as it is now, I just wanted to win, which meant Mr. Hadwick had to score all the touchdowns. He's got guard block, claw mighty blow. That's pretty much what you want on a Chaos Warrior. Mikey, block, agility, 2 heads. Not sure I would have picked 2 heads. It means he's really good at dodging, which is nice, but he's not really good at picking up the ball. And I don't know. I mean, I never say no to agility, and 2 heads fit in afterwards, so that's nice. Grumble Goat has a niggling injury. I would probably might kick him. I don't know. I like having a guy with kick, so that's always important to me since I run a passing game usually. So that's like a really vital skill. So I'm glad the thread voted for that. Wrestle's fun. On a Chaos team, it means we're more versatile, I guess. I don't really have any comments on that. Set carb. This is wrong. You don't get strong arm before you get pass. You're all idiots. But seeing that as he managed to get strong arm and then roll a double to get pass, I probably would have picked up, taken sure hands here, since he's usually passing the ball so early, and that would make him a dedicated thrower. Not that block's bad, block's always good. Well, Vince just sucks. Tackle wrestle, fun. Armor value 7, not good. He would probably have gotten kicked for that, especially considering I've got that much money. Ragnar, like I said, I never say no to agility. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to play much since he's got agility, which is good, but he tends to not be in the first lineup, so he does less things. Extra arms as for skill. No, I wouldn't have picked that, to be honest, but it's worked out really well. There's a nice Set and Mr. Hadwick have worked really well together, so you can't argue against it. It was a good pick in the end, but this extra arm also pretty much defined him as the catcher and main touchdown maker, so to speak. Movement allowance, good. I like movement allowance, but that's, like I said, it's because I like to pass and run around. Block, really useful in Mr. Hadwick. It means he doesn't get knocked down as much. More movement allowance. If you get it once, you get it again. There's no point in just having one extra movement. Maybe if you roll double 5s, but I don't know. I like Mr. Hadwick. He's fun. As you all know, Steve is awful, and having disturbing presence and nothing else is also pretty darn awful. I'm not sure what I think about this. It's unconventional, in a way. It makes sense having Juggernaut and Break Tackle. They combo each other really well, and you don't see it very often on a Minotaur, which is why it's good, but I don't know, he's still alive, so I'm guessing it's worked that way. Has he managed to kill a lot of dudes? I don't think so. Well, 4, which is good. And he managed to knock out 5 in how many games? 10. I could do better. Rerolls. Before we go. Yes, well, maybe 3 instead of 4. It's worked out really well. Apothecary, yes. I'm one of those guys that get the Apothecary like as soon as I start a team usually, because that means I can keep playing the next game. I know a lot of people buy it as their first skill, and it also gives you maybe the incentive that if you get killed a lot in the first game, you can just restart. And I just think that's kind of, it's not a shitty thing to do. I know why people do it, but I learned playing Blood Bowl from doing it not online, so to speak. So you usually have to face your opponents, and it's not really fun to play against. Destroy a guy's team and then come back next week and he has another team just built to destroy yours. It really escalates in a way. Cheerleaders are fucking useless. Don't buy them. Same with assistant coaches. And that's that. And we ain't got nothing here. Apparently we have a guy in Hall of Fames. That's Ronnie James Theo. That's good for him. Who else? Hadwick. Well, obviously. And Koselek. No surprise there. Okay. I think that's that. I think we'll end this with some credits, because that seems like a good way to end an LP. I hope everyone has enjoyed watching the Change Rules plays. I know I've had a great time playing them and making the videos, but it's time to take a break and maybe try something else, and who knows, I might be back later with something that's not chaos, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. You've all been great. I didn't really expect the LP to go as far as it did, or get as many views as it did, or get as many posts in the thread as it did. So thank you. It's been a delight, and even though Ethan's not here, I'm sure he would say the same thing, but he would probably end it with a yeah, because he talks that way.
Hey Ethan.
Hi.
Wanna watch me play some Blood Bowl?
Yeah.
On the pitch where Nuffles king, when players whine, we say, when your dude GFIs and he falls down and dies, that's Blood Bowl. When the crowd's cheering lulls as you roll double skulls, that's Blood Bowl. Snake eyes roll ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll scream, motherfucker. Blood will spray, tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, trust us, there's no sucker. When your face is a scowl as your turn 16 foul, that's Blood Bowl. Your star player's head splits from a weak snotling's blitz, you will rage. Intercepted by a Croxig, or you lose all control. So we say, well, my friend, see the pain never ends, that's Blood Bowl.
Yeah. Fucking game. It's these humans, they're cursed. Well, you would say that because you got all the touchdowns and also have only used one reroll in 13 turns of the second half.
I would say that.
Sure hands. Sure hands, don't get sure hands ever.
He's throwing it to Mr. Hadwick. That failed in 2 tackle zones to catch it. I am sad and confused, and also a bit angry. I keep making like dodges I don't really need to do, and never the ones I really need to do, but
That's Blood Bowl.
That's Blood Bowl.